Today, it's Stu Bergier, who is with me up here at the Standing Rock Ranch, and Jason, who's holding the fort down at our headquarters in Dallas, Texas. Hello, Jason. Hello, Stu. How are you?
Good morning, Glenn.
That was thrilling. And how are you, Stu?
I'm doing very well, Glenn.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. So, tell me, Jason, let's start with you. Biggest story of the day.
It's a combination of stories. One, an old story that's surfacing again, that there's apparently a secret room in the Hoover building that contains a bunch of Russiagate stuff that no one has apparently ever seen or heard of. And then that in conjunction with how the FISA court is now okaying Congress to look at certain things that no one had seen or heard from. And John Brennan's name is just coming up again out of nowhere. No big deal. He's just the guy that would have maybe allowed stuff like the Steele dossier to get in and spread all over the place, campaign
Well, the good
lies.
news is they've only got about 5 weeks before a statute of limitations runs out on that guy.
Oh, my gosh.
Good for them. Good for them. We're all on top of it. Stu, biggest story of the day.
Let me go with Javier Milei. I love the story in that it's the results of all of these policies are coming out.
Ooh.
Argentina's economy now growing at 7.7%.
Holy cow.
He eliminated rent controls. Now rent is actually going down. The exact opposite.
Wait. We got to get into this. I want to get into this fully in just a second. Let me tell you the biggest story of the day, and I think it is the biggest story possibly of all mankind as of today. It's going to change rapidly. I don't know if anybody did. Did either of you guys watch the Elon Musk thing last night?
No.
I did watch a few minutes of it.
Okay. Did you, Jason?
No, sure didn't.
Okay. So the XAI team was there to unveil Grok 4. This is the latest artificial intelligence system. And let me be very, very clear. Last night was not your typical tech launch. This is a moment that demands everyone's full attention. We are now at the crossroads where promise and peril are going to collide, okay? I have explained to you for years AI, AGI, and ASI. Narrow intelligence is what we've always had. General intelligence is the next step, and that is it's better than man. One, like Grok, can do everything that you can do, better than you can do, okay? And then there's super intelligence, ASI, artificial super intelligence. That's when things get really, really creepy. When you hit AGI, the road to ASI could be overnight, okay? We need to understand what's at stake here because Grok 4 brought us closer to that second stage than ever before. Grok 4 is a powerhouse. They demonstrated it last night. It surpasses the expertise of PhD-level scholars in all fields. It can get 100% on any test for any field, mathematics, physics, engineering, you name it. This is not a search engine. This is a system that tackles problems so intricate they go beyond our existing knowledge base, okay? Let's say we have a fusion reactor and the magnetic containment system goes down. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point, but it goes down. And the top minds all on Earth are like, I don't know what to do. Grok 4 can step in, model the physics, design new material, stabilize the system, and avert catastrophe. And it can do it about that fast. Now, this is the capability that Musk says is just around the corner. Mark my words. You know, how many years did I say between 2027 and 2030 we would start to see this?
Oh, a million times. That was always your window,
right?
That I remember, yeah.
Yeah, always the window. And everybody, even Ray Kurzweil said, oh, that's way too That's way too optimistic. Maybe 2050. And then people started going 2040, and then 2030. Grok shows us 2026 or 2027 is when we're going to hit it. This is the last year that we have before things get really weird, okay? Last night, Elon Musk is touting this AI and all of the solutions, and then he says probably 3 times something like this, and I'm quoting, this is one of them. It's somewhat unnerving to have created intelligence that's greater than our own. He then goes on to call it terrifying twice. Now, this is a man who's launched rockets, into orbit, going to Mars, and he says twice, after he sees the results of it, he says, it's really, in a way, quite terrifying to see what it's doing. But we just have to make sure that it remains good. Oh, okay, all right, sure. Now, the key point in the announcement was the mention of ARC AGI. I had never heard of ARC AGI and had no idea what it was, but I noticed AGI and I'm like, that sounds important. So this is the gold standard, the benchmark testing for artificial general intelligence. Okay. As I've said before, AGI, artificial general intelligence, is a machine that matches all human cognition across all domains. Reasoning, creativity, problem solving, not just specialized tasks like playing Go or analyzing X-rays. Everything. For instance, Musk said by mid-next year to the latest end of next year, it will be able to create a full-length movie just from a text prompt and do it all at once. So in other words, it'll say, create a movie, and you just explain The Godfather. It will do the casting. It will do the writing. It will do the filming, if you will. It will score the music, and it will happen that fast, almost in real time. We are nowhere near the computational power now to do that separately, but this will do it all at once. It will make a movie with all of it simultaneously. So the ARC AGI system is the benchmark on how close are we to AGI. Remember, scary things happen at AGI. Terrifying things happen at ASI. ASI could be a matter of hours or days after we hit AGI. Grok 4 scored 16.2% on the ARC AGI scale. Why is that important? You're like, well, they're only 16% away. Because last time, it barely broke 8%. And they took that test last time with Grok 3. And it took us forever to get to 8%. Now, what is it, a year later? We're at 16%. Remember, these things are not linear. The next time we could be at 32, we might be at 64. We are on the verge. This is the last year of, I can't believe I'm saying this, of normalcy. Okay, this year is good. We're going to look back at this year and probably 2 years ago. Gosh, you remember the good old days when everything was normal and you could understand everything? This is how close we are. Everything you and I talked about last night, Stu, about what we're doing in January, does it make it even more critical that happens right now?
Yeah, for sure.
You are going to need to know your values, your ethics, your rights. You're going to need to know absolutely everything. Now, Grok 4 is not true AGI yet. It lacks the full autonomy and the generalized reasoning of a human mind, but it is the closest that we have come. It's a system that can adapt, innovate at a level that outpaces specialized AIs by a wide margin. This is a milestone. This is not a destination, but it's something that should jolt everybody awake. So here's what's coming in the next 6 months. By December 2025, that's this Christmas, December 2025, he believes, Musk, that Grok 4 will drive through breakthroughs in material sciences. So in other words, imagine a brand new alloy that is lighter than aluminum, stronger than steel, and it revolutionizes aerospace and everything else. Or a drug that halts Alzheimer's progression tailored to a patient's DNA. Grok will drive breakthroughs through material science, so brand new materials that nobody's ever thought of, pharmaceuticals that we never thought could be made, and chemical engineering, putting together chemicals that no man has ever thought. That's going to happen by December. Imagine a chemical compound that makes carbon capture economically viable. The climate change stuff, that's over. It will be over because this will solve that. These are not fantasies. This is Grok 4. Musk said something I never thought. He said he believes within the next year, by 2027, Grok 4 will uncover new physical laws. So that will rewrite the our understanding of the entire universe. That there will come new, like there's gravity. Hey, you know what? There's another law here that you never thought of. Wait, what? That, he says, will come by 2027. This is going to accelerate human discovery at an unprecedented scale. I told you at some point, I said by 2030, it might be a little earlier than that. Things are going to be happening at such a fast rate, you're not going to be able to keep up with them. And it will accelerate to the point to where you won't even understand what all of this means or what the ramifications are. Are you there yet? In 6 months, Grok 4 could evolve into a system that dwarfs human expertise in economics, defense, all of it. Now, again, it's a bit terrifying, to quote Elon Musk. Why? Because we don't know what else comes with this. This is like an alien life form. We have no idea what to predict, what it will be capable of, how it will view us when we are ants to its intellect. Okay? It is a tool, but it is also Pandora's box. Grok 4 is the biggest step towards AGI and may be one of the last steps to AGI. My feeling is, what I've been saying forever, 2027 to 2030. I am leaning more to the 2027 now because of this announcement last night. We are on the verge of AGI and everything in human existence changing overnight. And as Musk said himself 2 times, it's terrifying. We should act like it is terrifying or risk losing the control of the future that we're all trying to build. That's the biggest story of the day, I think, in my opinion. Now let's get to some exciting news like Bolsonaro and some of the other stuff. We'll do that in 60 seconds. Let me first tell you about the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. The camera crews have left, the headlines have moved on, but in Israel, the pain is still very, very real. There are still homes that have been torn apart with families, homes destroyed, entire communities uprooted by missiles and rocket fire, and kids in shelters at night. And through it all, every shaken hand, every shattered window, The International Fellowship of Christians and Jews has been on the ground, bringing aid, food, medical supplies, clothing, emergency housing, and sometimes just a gentle hand on the shoulder to say, you're not alone. The fellowship doesn't wait for perfect conditions or political stability. They show up in the middle of the storm, and right now, the need is enormous. When you help out in the fellowship, you are part of an incredibly important mission. As Christians, standing shoulder to shoulder with the people of Israel, we can light the way, not just in words, but in action. Every single gift matters. Please, now is your time to stand with Israel's innocent and most vulnerable. Rush your gift right now at 888-488-IFCJ, 888-488-IFCJ, or go online to ifcj.org. That's ifcj.org, 888-488-IFCJ. 10 seconds, and then we're back to the program.
I was watching some of this Grok thing last night. You didn't hit either of the two main things that I thought maybe was most important.
Okay.
Number one, the fact that Elon Musk found a group of people that he's the least awkward of. That was it was incredible.
Wow, was that an awkward? The whole thing was awkward.
Gosh.
There would be. I mean, this was a major. I don't know what you would call a rollout or press conference in a way. And he had like 5 people on the stage sitting with him, and they all had microphones. And there were times that they would just say something, and then they would just sit there and they'd blink at one another.
Right.
And then they'd look up at a screen, and then one of them would awkwardly say, "Oh, another thing that can happen."
Right. Yeah, it was really awkward.
Weird.
The most common phrase used was, "So, yeah." and like the context would be like, so that's a 14.6 gain in that metric. So, yeah. And then Elon Musk would be like, and so what we're saying here is he'd have to like jump in to make it understandable.
Yeah.
But the other part I thought was fascinating about this was Musk highlighted this multiple times where he was saying he wanted to make sure that we were bringing this into the physical world. And he's like, and the way you do this is with Optimus. And he was talking about how Grok would work with the robots.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah, wasn't that?
I was like,
yeah. Wait.
He's like, Grok. He said Grok now because it's going to AGI. Mm-hmm. Grok. We put Grok into now the Optimus, which is his robot, and it will be able to understand. It will be able to navigate anything. We are on the verge of having real life robots that are smarter than you all over in our society.
So,
RoboCop.
Yeah. I mean, that is legitimately the plot of every
everything
sci-fi horror story that starts.
Frankenstein. It's Frankenstein. I tell you, who is the guy that we know that does all the horror movies? Blum.
Oh, Jason Blum.
Yeah, Jason Blum from Blumhouse. I was talking to him. We were having lunch one time, and I said, you need to redo Frankenstein. And he's like, kind of been there, done that. And I said, no, we are living in Frankenstein right now. We're doing it right now. It's all AGI. It's Frankenstein, and the monster is going to revolt.
Yeah, the monster doesn't just like grunt,
right?
You know,
yeah.
It does feel that. I mean, like everyone was talking about the rise of Mecha Hitler the other day because of that Grok release, and it's like we get that story. I feel like every single time there's a new release of these, somebody is able to antagonize the AI into doing something crazy. But like, obviously, these things are possible. Like,
wait until it's 1,000 times smarter than everybody on Earth. So, yeah.
This is
I didn't see it coming.
All right, let me tell you about LifeLock. Here's a thought that should make you pause a bit. If a cyber criminal steals your identity and nobody catches them, did it even happen? Unfortunately, the answer is it did. The consequences are really real. Maybe you didn't notice until a collection agency calls you about an account you never opened. Maybe it's, your tax return gets rejected. Maybe it's when you find out you're living in 2 states at once, according to your credit report. Truth is, hackers and identity thieves are getting more and more sophisticated. Wait until it's in the body of a robot. The dark web is crowded with stolen names, social security numbers, addresses, account logins, and there's a good chance yours is in there. LifeLock monitors that activity in real time. And if they see something suspicious, you get alerted immediately. If your identity is stolen, their U.S.-based restoration team jumps in to help fix it. And they back it with $1 million in coverage for expenses and lawyers. Some things are not worth gambling with. Protect yourself with LifeLock. Join now, save up to 40% off your first year with a promo code BECK. Call 1-800-LifeLock. I just thought of something really terrifying, Stu. My mind is ADD. I was just doodling what you just said. Wait, after the commercial. Go to LifeLock.com. Use the promo code BECK. 40% off. 1-800-LifeLock.
Head over to glennbeck.com. Get signed up for the email newsletter. It's free. glennbeck.com.
You know, during the break, I just laid out an idea of what I think, a scenario that I think could happen pretty quickly, logically, that kind of makes it falls right into the Elon Musk, terrifying that he said last night when he was unveiling Grok 4. We'll get into that a little bit later, and also some of the other things that are going on with, shockingly, all of the progress that is being made now on different fronts with putting bad guys in jail in Washington. We'll get into that. But I wanted to talk to Douglas Mackey. Now, this is a guy, you probably know the name, hopefully you do. He was sentenced to 7 months in prison for putting together a meme during the election with Hillary Clinton. And he put a meme up that said, you can vote from home, and I don't remember what it was. Do we have the meme actually there? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, you just text Hillary. And it says MAGA on it, hashtag MAGA. It's clearly, you have to be a nincompoop to believe this, but, there's a lot of nincompoops. But just went away, and then when Biden came in, they decided to throw the book at him. And yesterday, some really good news happened. A federal judge overturned this, and he is now free from this insane, dare I say it, Hitlerian attempt on freedom of speech. Douglas Mackey is with us. Hi, Doug.
Hi, Glenn. Great to be here. Thank you.
Oh, I bet it is good to be here today, right? Wow.
It's a great day to be an American.
Yeah. So tell me, first of all, how'd you find out? Where were you? And, what the reaction was with you and your family.
Yeah. So here I am on the first day of vacation with my, beautiful wife and our young son. And my trial attorney sent me a text, just said, congrats. And I figured, wow, it just happened. So I called him up and he gave me the news. Shortly thereafter, I was able to actually get a copy of the opinion, but no, it was a great day to be on vacation.
I bet it was. So you've been going through this for how long?
Yeah, this is 4.5 years since, 4 FBI agents knocked on my door at 7 a.m., and that was 7 days after Joe Biden was inaugurated.
Wow, they had you in the sights long before they got into office. And
oh, that's right.
What did they say to you, and what was your first reaction?
Well, they said, are you Douglas Mackey? We have a warrant for your arrest. The first words out of my mouth were, for what? And I really had no idea that this meme was going to be the basis for a prosecution because, at the time I wasn't even on Twitter. But back in the 2016 election cycle, I tweeted thousands of times, so I had no idea. But I did know that once they make you an enemy, that it's like, show me the man and I'll show you the crime. So I was very curious to see what they had cooked up. And I didn't even know until after the arraignment when they took the leg shackles off me and placed a copy in my hands of a 30-page criminal complaint.
And were you surprised that you were charged under the Klan Act?
the Klan Act, a federal felony. I was shocked at the felony. Misdemeanor, sometimes people would rather just plea out rather than go to the expense of fighting it. But a federal felony, the KKK Act, unbelievable.
And this was really kind of a trial balloon, wasn't it? The Justice Department was using the Klan Act to go after pro-life people, really just anybody, just targeting whomever. So
absolutely,
when you're
I was the first, and let me mention this: they indicted Donald J. Trump on the same statute.
Wow. When you found out about the Klan Act, and then, your attorney had to be freaking out, saying this is ridiculous. And then when it was overturned yesterday, how far do you think the ramifications of your case being overturned go? Is it just you?
No, absolutely not. So, this is a total humiliation, I believe, for the sort of Biden DOJ. One of many, but this is a total humiliation for the EDNY, the DOJ, the New York FBI. And I think that, unfortunately, we did not necessarily get as sweeping of a constitutional victory because you probably know these appellate courts, they kind of rule once they come to a conclusion on, let's say, one of the grounds, they don't rule on all the other grounds. So I think they're going to think long and hard before bringing more of these cases. But unfortunately, it's not sort of the sweeping constitutional ruling that we wanted. But nevertheless, a great victory.
So, Doug, I have to tell you, I think I heard a phrase, it's the process more than the
process is the punishment.
Yeah, the process. That's it. The process is the punishment.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been thinking about that because I know somebody who has been waiting almost 10 years for the process, and it's hanging over him. And I thought, I was talking to him a couple of weeks ago, and I said, how do you even live your life? It's all, you never know. You never know what the next thing is happening, when they're going to start going, okay, well, we're ready to take you to prison now. What is that like to live under this?
I would say only faith can get you through it. It just, in the beginning, the pretrial is unbelievable. The amount of stress. But then the trial comes along, and that's even more stress. And then, one of the most difficult things to sit through is a sentencing hearing. That was extremely difficult, getting lectured at by this hardcore partisan hack sitting on the bench. And, it's not about Democrat or Republican because the appellate court was bipartisan. But in the case of this particular judge, it was very much getting a lecture. So, and then we said, we're moving for an appeal bond, 7-month sentence. Well, appeals usually take a lot longer than 7 months, and we have extremely strong grounds, not only evidentiary, which is what we ultimately won on, but constitutional grounds. She denied the motion outright, and guess what that means? Well, you're sitting around wondering if you're going to win the appeal bond. We had to go to the circuit court just to get an appeal bond, and then we're sitting around waiting for that. And so it's unbelievable. And by the way, there's another $50,000 to argue that, or $60,000 just to argue an appeal bond.
Douglas, when all this happened at the beginning, did you have some massive social media following that was moving tens of thousands of voters? What was your profile at the time?
So at the time, I did have a large account at 62,000 followers, which back in the day was pretty big, and it was very active. And they said, they do these studies. Well, I am skeptical, but MIT said it was one of the top 150 influential accounts on Twitter at the time. This would have been early 16 during the primary. And but the funny thing is that account was suspended by Jack Dorsey early October. And by the time I posted this meme, I was doing it on a second account that only had about 10,000. And that account, the tweet itself only got 100 likes or something.
Unbelievable.
100 likes.
How?
Why were you the target then of this? That's fascinating. Why did they single you out? Obviously, people were posting all sorts of crazy things.
Well, you're not going to believe this, but it's got a lot to do with Russia. So, number one, I was a prominent, quote unquote, influential Trump supporter. they had this breakdown about quote unquote disinformation, misinformation. It's supposedly this was enabling the rise of Donald Trump and the quote unquote far right, right? And so not only that, they wanted to send a message about quote unquote misinformation and arrest a prominent Trump supporter, but they actually thought, it's unbelievable that the DOJ embraces these sort of theories, but they actually thought that they were going to arrest me. They also squeezed a guy, this poor guy actually, who pled guilty and cooperated. He testified against me in court on this non-existent crime, and they thought they were going to arrest me, squeeze this other guy, and uncover some Russia collusion. This was on the floor of the Senate. This meme was blown up on a big poster board on the floor of the Senate. Senator Klobuchar did this. And she said, this is Russia. This is a crime. We need investigation. So they actually thought that this was some Russian plot to steal the election.
I remember when we reported on this and they were saying those things, we said, everybody is at stake now. Because, I mean, if they can tie you with no connections to Russia and say, look, this is a Russian plot and without any evidence, all of us could be, swept up into this. It was a very dangerous thing, and I'm so glad that it was overturned. You have to, I imagine that you went on a very cheap vacation because how much does this cost you, and how are you paying for it?
Yeah, for sure. This cost over $1 million, probably approaching 1.5. I put in as much money as I possibly could, which is, well into six figures. And then we were able to raise money on a nonprofit called memedefensefund.com. But I still owe money. I still owe a lot of money. And we're going to raise some more money, and we're going to file suit to try to recover all these legal fees with the DOJ. So you can go to memedefensefund.com if anybody wants to go and chip in a little bit.
memedefensefund.com. memedefensefund.com. This one matters to all of us. I wish you the best, Douglas. I'm glad to hear that this is passed from you. And go fight him. Now go fight him. Turn the tables on him. Thank you, Douglas.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you,
you bet. memedefensefund.com. Go there now. All right. Our sponsor this half hour is Lear Capital. You've been watching the economy lately. You probably thought to yourself, what is money actually worth right now? Inflation has gone from an abstract concept to a real part of your grocery bill. Trillions of dollars have been printed out of thin air. The value of the dollar that you saved 10 years ago, it doesn't stretch as far. You've lost 30 cents, I think 30 or 40 cents on your dollar's value in 10 years. That's kind of significant. And it's going to keep going down and down and down because we keep spending and spending and spending and devaluing our own dollar, which means that if you had something, saved, maybe it's only worth, 70% of what it was 10 years ago. That's not good. That's not putting you ahead. Lear Capital has been trying to save people their financial future for over 25 years. They have real expertise, real options. So you can buy gold or silver directly from them. You can roll over a portion of your IRA into a gold-backed account. Please call Lear Capital today. The number is 800-957-GOLD, 800-957-GOLD. Get your free $4,200 gold report. And when you call 800-957-GOLD, ask about getting up to $15,000 in free gold or silver with a qualifying purchase. It's 800-957-GOLD, 800-957-GOLD.
History's got a warning label, and if we don't read it, we'll live it. Stay sharp, friends. Glenn Beck returns in a jiff.
Well, as you know, I'm the authority on dating in America, and if you've ever hit that moment where casual dating isn't just cutting it anymore, people do reach a point in life where they've built successful careers and they've defined their values and they've gained clarity about what truly matters. At that stage, you might be looking for someone who genuinely matches their ambition and their vision and their standards. I don't know how anybody would date. I can't even imagine the world of AI and all the other craziness going on there, how you would even approach dating. Well, this is an option for you. Selective Search, they get it. They're America's top luxury matchmaking firm, specifically created for those who are serious about building meaningful, lasting relationships. It's a personalized, detailed approach given by experts who take the time to understand exactly who their clients are and precisely what they're seeking. Their experienced team carefully selects every match based on true compatibility, and every introduction is thoughtfully planned and meaningful and intentional. If you're tired of like dating apps or you're trying to meet real women who are truly serious about finding love, selectivesearch.com/California. Get it if you happen to be in that area, you can get started. It's selectivesearch.com/California. They have a candidate program you can join today. Maybe you can share it with someone in that area who is ready for something meaningful. This is different than like hookup apps. It's not what they're looking for here. They're looking for somebody who means something, a meaningful relationship. It's selectivesearch.com/California to get started.
Stu's leaving the ranch, and gosh darn it, I wish I didn't have that wedding party coming in this weekend. We need your room, Stu. So
really?
Yeah, you all packed and ready to go?
Not quite. No.
Right, well, don't worry about it. I'll just throw your stuff out on the lawn. And
well, I mean, I could just pack up when I'm done with the show.
Yeah, you can. I'll throw the suitcase out there too. So,
but I can't wait. I can just pack while I'm in the room.
No, I got a wedding party. I got to get ready for this couple and the proprietor of this place. A hothead. He's a hothead.
That I believe. That part I actually believe. The wedding party, I don't believe. Hothead.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
Yes,
good to have you up here.
It's been great. It's what a really cool area. I've never really visited up here before.
You can see why everything shuts off.
Yeah,
it's like you don't care about the rest of the world.
Yeah, it's funny you're saying that because we were talking about something. Some back and forth on Twitter that we were being alerted of you were tangentially involved in, and I was just thinking to myself as I was walking around this place, I get why you just would never care about anything like that being here. It feels like you're just in a totally separate from the world. All the crazy nonsense you see on Twitter or in the news is so separate.
It all goes away the minute we were sitting in the living room the other day, and Stu's like, "There's a deer at the window,"
right?
Yeah, and I'm like,
"That's life."
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, he's there." He and a couple of others were there yesterday too. They come down and eat at this time. And I mean, it's amazing. It's surreal.
I will say, last night you were like, we were just hanging out and we had a little bit of time open, and you're like, "Well, you want to watch a movie?" And I have to say, I did suggest a Hitler movie, and
it was you.
It was me this time. It was
all
not.
you.
We did watch Valkyrie.
Oh, that's a great one. That's just a great one.
It's just freaking great. What a great movie.
And a great story.
It's a fantastic story. I didn't realize we were going through this and watching Valkyrie, and it's a Tom Cruise movie about the assassination plot of Hitler, if you don't know. And like every 4 minutes in the movie is like, Glenn's like, "Oh, I have that document. I have that medal. Oh, yeah." It's like, what is this world you live in?
No, it's
you
weird.
Really do. How do you? I mean,
so we have the document. We have the document from, I think it's Himmler and Hitler, saying to Strom, was that his name, Strom, the general, investigate and round up the perpetrators of this. Then we have the execution order signed by Strom of Tom Cruise's character.
Oh, wow, Stauffenberg.
Stauffenberg. And it was, and it's partially burned. They tried to burn it on their way out. As the Allies were coming in. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing.
Is this on display at the museum? Or does
yes. It's in the vaults of the museum, but soon will be on display, and we'll give you more information on that
cool.
coming up. By the way, we were just talking about the AI thing. Can anyone see a reason why Optimus, the robots from Musk, along with Grok 4 might be merged and put into our cities as policemen? Because I don't know, we've chased all our policemen away. Things are in chaos. People might beg for RoboCop soon.
This is Glenn Beck.